Hello, Serge here from the back porch. Clipboard, and we have another comment that involves an answer here about the golf swing. So that's why I'm going to bring this out. And this one today comes from Janet M. So we have a lady here that's bringing up a good question. And Janet says, I don't know if I can explain this very well, but I think of the bump, that's the lateral left shift that starts the downswing, which pulls the hands down. And so she says, I think of the bump as the same thing I do in a baseball swing. So I guess Janet must have played some softball. When swinging a bat at a baseball, I'm standing with my shoulders turned away from the pitcher, and when the ball is coming at me, I kind of step into it to hit it. For me, when I'm swinging a golf club, it's kind of the same feeling, except I keep my left foot down. Thank you. That means we're not lifting the foot, which gives us the wide knees, outward pressure, and gives us that controlled limited turn. Plus, the ball is on the ground, and there's no danger of getting hit in the head. Is that even close to what it is? So she's asking if that's the bump. Well, right after that, Steve Smith came back and responded. He said, hey, Janet, it is close to what it is. In fact, I think that anyone that is used to either hitting something or throwing something from another sport should find a bump a very natural thing to do. And I definitely think it is natural. Like I've always said, skipping rocks on the lake. And a while back, we had another one of our Sergites come in and say he thought it was even, he had to get more exaggerated and think about an underarm sidearm pitcher, which is even more exaggerated, just skipping a rock. And there's some other things. I mean, one of them is you get in a door jam, and you can stand in a door jam, like over here, and just go what? Get your feet real close and just tap the door. That's all it is. It only moves about an inch, okay? Inch, 2 inches max is what your belt buckle will move. So Steve came back and said, it's like if you hit or throw anything in any other sport, the bump should be a very natural thing to do. Of course, any of us can take a good thing too far and overdo it, or turn it into a rotation instead of a slight bump. Many baseball players in the modern era don't even take a stride with their front foot, making their swings even more similar to golf. Again, the point I like here, what Steve said, was that we can overdo it. And many people overdo the bump, and one of the quickest ways to overdo it is if your stance is too wide. Just to get to your left side, it has to slide too far. And when your hips slide a lot farther, your upper body can tend to in the secondary spinal tilt, collapse too far back. And then there's those who just, with the right correct width of stance, overdo it, and now their hips are getting outside their left foot, and that's going to cause balance problems and falling back and forward, and coming up out of the shot or falling into the shot sometimes. Immediately after that comment, Janet came back and said, just watch the video. Funny, that's exactly what I'm talking about. For a long time, I was overthinking the bump until it occurred to me that maybe it's like what happens when you swing a baseball bat. The difference being that the ball is coming at you so fast that you don't have time to think about it. That's the problem with golf tips. Or I guess I should say I, try to incorporate every single tip into your swing, when there are some things you do naturally that should just be left alone, and you end up thinking too much about every little aspect of your swing, and then it gets really screwed up. Amen. We can only think about so much. The golf swing is on average, from takeaway to impact, a second and fifth, 1.15 seconds or something around here, 1.25, and probably from takeaway all the way to the recoil and relax should be no more than probably 2.5 to 3 seconds. How much can you think of in 2.5 to 3 seconds? And I think you all realize that Janet said it best when she said, it's just you do it natural. In baseball, you don't have time to think. All you have time to say, I'm going to hit that ball, and you start swinging. All right. Now, naturally, they have batting practice to what? To practice their step, to practice their stroke, their stride to hit the ball, and in many cases even hit it and get going. You know, how to get out of the batter's box, get running, and to get to first base. So they practice it just like we do. But the difference between baseball and even tennis, where they throw the ball up and everything else, the ball's moving, it's falling down, they have to time it to catch the ball. But it's more natural because it's in motion to begin with. And so the ball's sitting on the ground. The ball you're trying to hit is stationary, which should make it a lot easier. But I think in the end, the key is do we think ourselves into too many things, which in fact starts to mess us all up. And so once you start swinging, all your practice swings, just go ahead and let it happen. Or as, what is it, Nike, just do it. But the key starts with the setup determines the motion, And then once you start your motion, you must maintain your muscle tone and everything in your body. And that's why the knees are so important, because we maintain the outward pressure to keep us level. Because even we can get too much motion, and even if we can make it very smooth and flowing and somewhat elegant and graceful looking, if we're changing too many angles, especially this one in here, and this angle from the, so to speak, your neck to the ball is changing up and down, that means you can chunk it or you can top it and everything in between if you don't get back just right where you started, from where you started for your extension, and get to the ball. That's why maintaining the spine angle is so critical. And so it comes back to, again, the setup determines the motion. Make a good practice swing, especially from beside the ball, or at least on the same level of ground. If you have any kind of a downhill, uphill, or side hill lies, you should swing beside the ball so you can feel what's going to happen in that swing. And know that say if it's downhill where you're going to start feeling that you're moving forward, or if it's uphill where it's going to start pushing you back, or if it's downhill that you might start falling in, or again, if the ball's above your feet, that how you might, where you might come around, and know that you have to plan that the ball is going to get pulled and how you have to set up to it, and all those issues. So make your practice swing. And what are you doing with your practice swing? When you finally make that practice swing from any lie whatsoever, and especially from the flat lies, I should say really, especially from all the side hill lies, uphill, downhill, whatever, and even on the flat lies, you make that practice swing, you feel what's happening all the way till you finish, and then you do what? You set up and you swing the feel. And that's critical. So we have to have the good setup. Setup determines the motion. Make a good practice swing. When you get the swing and you feel what you want to happen, then you step up and you swing that feel. Get rid of the thoughts. It's all about now feel. All right? And so I think this is some great comments from Janet and Steve. I like the one about don't overthink. Start by making good practice swings so you can feel the swing, and then just step up and swing the feel, or as the commercial says, just do it. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.